okay? So that's pretty cool, right? I think it's pretty neat. And I want to thank everyone for all of your feedback, for all of your ideas, because it kind of led to me realizing, oh yeah, I have that third camera, and maybe I could actually use that for something useful as opposed to just having sit around and never using it. So that's cool, right? I keep in mind that I still have the wide angle shot that we can now use for various different things too. And I have something I want to show all of you. This is what I'm actually most excited for. All right, you ready for this? So as you know, in the last month or so, I got the wide angle shot working. And when I got the wide angle shot working, we were doing a new face cam for gameplay. And if you remember, what I do is I basically swap to that angle and I turn on my secondary key light that's behind there, which adds a whole bunch of additional light to the room, right? And when I'm using it, it shows me from a face angle, face first, because otherwise I was like this, and you were seeing me from this side profile, and a lot of people didn't like the side profile. They were like, oh, your hands are disappearing in it, and it doesn't look right. So can you change that around? Okay? And so, I've worked on this and tried to figure out ways to make it work, okay? But admittedly, a little disappointed with how it worked out. And the reason really is I'm using this background removal tool. See? You can actually, that's funny that you can see me behind myself here. Let's get rid of this. This background removal tool, okay, is good. It is. It's good. But as you can see, there's a problem. It has an issue with my chair. And I don't know why it has an issue with my chair. It doesn't seem to have an issue with me. Like it does, it's fine. It works well with me. But my chair, it always has this issue where my chair seems to phase in and out of existence, right? Now, for the most part, when I'm doing this, it's not a big deal, but it has become more jarring during gameplay because when I'm doing it on a podcast like this, I'm doing this for a few seconds, a minute, and then I go back, it's like, okay, no big deal. But if I'm doing gameplay, all right, basically then what happens is you're seeing that chair go woo, 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 constantly. All right. And it's very annoying. I'm not going to lie. It actually bothers me a lot that it's doing that. And I've been trying to figure out ways to fix it, different lighting situations. Nothing's really worked. So finally, okay, I decided I'm going to try something new or different. Someone had suggested the other day, they said you can get seat covers. And if you get a seat cover, that will cover your chair. And then you can mess around with your streaming settings and make the chair disappear fully. This is what a lot of streamers do. And I was like, all right, I guess I'll have to look into it. Or I'll have to figure this out. Like, can I get one or whatever? So I did. I ordered one the other day off of Amazon. And it's one of the, neon green. What do they call it? Like highlighter green or whatever you want to call it. Seat cover. And it's supposed to be large size because this is a large chair. It's actually a big chair compared to other, office chairs. It's wide and everything. So I ordered the large, and it was supposed to come yesterday, okay? So all during my day off on Friday, I'm spending time with my wife or whatever, and I keep checking, and I get an alert update from Amazon. I said, alert, what is this? And I check it. It says, I'm not even kidding you. I wish that this was an exaggeration. I really do. But this is the reality of my life, okay? It says, customer alert, your shipment was destroyed by USPS. It is so damaged that we are no longer going to deliver it. We're just going to have it come back to us, in which case we're going to credit you. If you want it, you have to order it again. What? How do you destroy a seat cover? Like, what did they do exactly? Like, was it something like, was it like Looney Tunes? Like they were on a cliff, they threw it off the cliff by accident, like Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote ran off the cliff or dropped it. Did they stick an arrow through it? Was there a stick of dynamite? Did it explode? Was there like a big inferno? Did they actually drive the USPS truck into a volcano? Like, how do you destroy a seat cover? I could see if they said, oh, we lost it, right? No, they said it was so badly damaged in transit that we're returning it to Amazon and you're going to get credit for it. And I was like, it's not even fragile. It's fabric. How do you destroy it? Well, there's an Acme anvil fell on it, but it's a seat cover. You can't, that wouldn't hurt it. You know what I mean? So how did this happen? I just don't get it. So I had to reorder. And when I reordered, the only way that I could get it in time to show up for today was to order the wrong size. But it might still work. So I ordered a medium. All right. And it did show up actually yesterday, like late yesterday. And as I was doing stuff in the office, I was like fumbling with it, messing around with it. And, well, would you like to see it? Would you like to see the seat cover? And would you like to see it in action? And we can determine if it works. All right, let's do it. Right here. Very exciting. As you can see, it is a neon green seat cover. Okay, neon green. And the problem is because it's not the right size, it's a little tricky to get on. Like, it probably wouldn't be as hard to get on if it were large, but I couldn't get the large because USPS destroyed it. Yeah, so what you got to do to get this to work, it's like putting on like a jacket. So it's like your chair is going to go outside. It's a little windy and maybe a little damp. So you got to put a jacket. It's like putting like a coat on your small child as it's going outside. Okay, so here we go. So you put it on the top, and then you got to stretch it out over the top of the chair. It just barely fits. Like, it really should be the large size, but there. So it's very exciting, right? Now, it looks horrible, right? It does. Like, who would want to sit on a neon green chair? So I'm definitely not going to leave it on all the time. I'm only going to have this on when I'm doing gameplay. However, as you're about to see, it actually works pretty well. So here's my wide angle shot, okay? But now here's my wide angle shot with all the effects on. And it actually looks even better when I have my lighting off. Right now my lighting is on, so you see purple lighting around me and stuff. But with the lighting off, you'll see nothing at all. So it actually worked well. You know, can you believe it? I didn't expect it to work that well, but it actually is working really well. So the chair no longer will phase in and out of existence at all when I'm doing this in gameplay. It'll just be me, which is the whole point, you know. But it is annoying that I had to go out these extra lengths to keep making this, you know. It's kind of like, you know, let me put it this way. All those years I didn't care, right? All those years I didn't give two shits about my setup. I was basically just getting by, right? Now it's kind of like, for me, it's all or nothing. So now that I've gone in on, oh, I want my setup to look good and I want to have all this tech and all these features, right? That's all well and good, but as you can see, it just amounts to more and more work. So it's like, oh, I want to do, you know, green screen stuff. Well, guess what? This is what it would look like because the thing's all messed up and the effect doesn't really work right. See? So now I got to get a chair cover so I could do this. It's like, well, so what's next, right? Like, what's the next thing? And by the way, just so you know, it actually looks better with the lights off too. Like I said, because I have the lights on, see there's purple on my hair and everything. That won't be there when the lights are off. So I will turn off the lights when I you know, play games. You won't see that. But this is just a demo to show you how it works. And then to show you also how it works. So the camera will now follow me as I move. So I can move around and I can update, I could do this, update my leaderboard, come back over here. And you see just a tiny bit of the edge of the chair and that's it, not a lot. And then it goes right away. So it works. It absolutely does work. It's just a lot of work to get it to work, you know. I wish I could have got the large cover, but at this point, I guess the medium fits. So I guess I don't need to care about the large cover. It's not that big of a deal, right? Okay. And so updates continuing. Now, obviously, it looks terrible, right, when I'm doing it this way. However, one funny thing about it is that if I do this and I chroma key it out, actually, no, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to just chroma key it out. Hold on. Now, look what happens. Now half my set has disappeared when you chroma key. And this is what I was trying to explain to Rich last week, is that you can't just chroma key randomly your set because other things are affected. Like Review Tech has glasses that he wears all the time. So when he chroma keys that out, it makes his eyes like black. You know what I'm saying? So it looks awful. So you can't just chroma key anything at any time. It doesn't work. Okay, which is why I think it's funny. Look, like half the stuff disappears. Look at that. Rows of the pins disappear. Stuff. Look, Philomania disappears. That's actually kind of funny. Anyway, so just messing around with it. But I'm going to remove the cover. I'm not going to leave the cover on the chair when I'm just here podcasting or whatever. So let me get rid of the cover now. Here we go. So I will put the cover on when I begin with gameplay. I just have to remember to do it, because I guarantee you, originally I'm just not gonna remember to do it. I'm gonna forget, and people are gonna be like, "What about your cover?" I'm gonna be like, "Oh yeah." Okay, so remind me to do it, because I'd like to actually have it. I bought it and everything, right? So, all right. So as you can see, that's all the improvements to the things. We have 3 cameras set up. I have a new chair removal, so the chair won't be in the shots anymore, right? All kinds of stuff. New back.